Okay, that's enough. I'm all giddy. The royal family are on vacation at Balmoral Castle in Scotland. It's a 50,000 acre estate and the Queen goes there every year for 8 to 12 weeks. I think if you polled all of the royal staff, they'd all agree that Balmoral was our favourite residence. We love going to Scotland, we love being in Balmoral, and we had so much fun up there. Today I'm going to be making one of the Queen's favourite desserts, which is a chocolate mousse. It's no secret that the Queen loved chocolate, and the darker chocolate the better. But this one has whiskey in it, and it's so easy to make, and it's delicious too. I start off melting the chocolate. I don't want to get it too hot, because otherwise it scorches and goes really bitter. Once it's all melted, I'll just leave it to one side, just to cool down a little. Next, I'm going to take my eggs. I'll separate the eggs. I want the yolks and the whites, and I need the whites to be really stiff so that they hold the chocolate mousse together. So that means no egg yolks, no little goldfish swimming around in the egg whites. Once I've got my eggs separated, then I've got to whip the cream until it's stiff. Once the cream's stiff, I've then got to whip the egg whites. And they have to be super stiff too. They're going to hold the mousse together and give it the texture and that beautiful aeration. Once the egg whites are stiff, then I need to do some coffee. So I've got a little instant coffee, and the coffee is going to give it a really nice depth. Chocolate and coffee go so well together, even with the whiskey. So a little boiling water on my instant coffee. And then I've got some whiskey. I'm using Drambuie because I love the flavors in there, the gorgeous herbs and spices and sort of honey in there as well. All this combination goes together to make an incredible chocolate mousse. I think the reason that the chefs loved Balmoral was probably because of all of the gorgeous produce on the estate. The grouse, the deer, the salmon, its own self-contained vegetable garden with just beautiful produce. All the vegetables and fruits and berries, they were simply amazing. I think Scotland has some of the best berries in the world, I really do. Balmoral Castle is on a huge estate in the Scottish Highlands in the middle of nowhere, and it's so quiet and peaceful and tranquil, and the noise is only broken every morning at 9 a.m. when the Queen's Pipe Major walks around the castle playing the bagpipes while the Queen's having breakfast. Balmoral's open to the public in the summer months, and it's well worth a visit. You can walk through the ballroom that I danced with Princess Diana in. Oh my goodness, I get goosebumps thinking back to those 11 years. The estate's incredible. You can walk down by the river. You can go out onto the estate in Land Rovers. There's incredible views, and riding out onto the estate, the gorgeous heather, the rolling hills, the lochs, and just seeing the deer and the grouse in their natural habitat. Once you've seen the estate, you understand why it's the staff's favourite place. And of course, it's the Queen and the Duke's favourite too, and the rest of the royal family. Wait, where's that music coming from? Winston, I didn't realise that you could play the bagpipes. Seriously? You want me to do the Highland dance? I can't do the Highland dance. All right, I'll try. Okay, that's enough. I'm all giddy. You can stop now. So, once I've got the chocolate melted, my egg yolks and whites and cream, I can start building the mousse. First, I'm going to add the coffee that I've dissolved in the boiling water. And then my whiskey. Mix all of those together. And then I'm adding the egg yolks. I've got to whisk this now so I get everything mixed in together and no lumps. Then, once everything's mixed in, I'm going to put some cream in there. I add about half the cream because what I want to do is just lighten the mix so that when it comes to folding in the egg whites, I don't knock all the bubbles out of them. It smells so good with that Drambuie in there. Now I can add the rest of the cream. And then finally the egg whites. Again, half at a time, and then lightly whisk them in. This is the hardest part. You've got to mix the egg whites in so there is no flakes of white, but at the same time, you've got to not whisk them too much because you don't want to lose all that aeration. I think the royal family love Balmoral because they get to go out onto the estate, and they have so many different lodges all around the estate that they go out to and they cook. Prince Philip loves to cook on the grill. One of the scariest times for a royal chef is probably at Balmoral. And that seems strange when you think that, we'd be preparing banquets and cooking for kings, queens, and presidents. But at Balmoral, we never knew whether the royal family were going out for dinner, barbecuing to the hills, or having dinner in the castle. We never knew until about 5 o'clock. They'd gather for afternoon tea and then decide what they were going to do. Of course, if we were making something like the chocolate mousse and that was on the menu for dinner, we'd have to make 2 different lots of chocolate mousse. One we prepare in a beautiful silver dish, and the other one we'd actually prepare in plastic Tupperware because we couldn't send the silver out to the hills. I know someone's going to ask, what are these bowls that I'm using? They're called Mason cash bowls, and they date back to 1901. Queen Victoria times, right? I mean, they look amazing, don't they? Look at them on the shelf, they look incredible. I love working with Mason cash bowls, and we used to use them all the time at the palace, and they're just great to work with. They're sturdy and hold so well, and we'd use them at the palace, but we'd actually travel them to Balmoral and to Sandringham and use them there too. It's like seeing Downton Abbey, isn't it? Just seeing those bowls on the tables and everything else. But they're so pretty. Love the Mason cash bowls. I'll put a link to them below in the description if you want to get some. One for dinner in, one for dinner out. Now to the refrigerator to set for at least 3 hours. A little chocolate. So we had to be prepared at Balmoral. Dinner could be in, dinner could be out, barbecue in the hills. And we couldn't send the silver dishes out to the barbecue in the hills. We had to do a plastic container, a Tupperware container that fit into the truck that we could send out to the hills. Ready for both. Is it dinner in? Is it dinner out? Doesn't matter. The chefs are ready. Let's taste it. It's a delicious, light, creamy chocolate mousse. And the flavor from the Drambuie and everything else in there, the coffee is amazing. This is the chocolate mousse that I made for the Queen at Buckingham Palace for banquets and large parties, entertaining, but also at Balmoral too, for picnics and barbecues in the hills. Thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button below, hit the like too, and leave a comment. Let me know what you think about this chocolate mousse. It is pretty good. See you again soon.